Hey guys, welcome to Joe Knows. We have been talking about finances and I want to continue that conversation. Last week I talked to you a little bit about the biblical idea that we're responsible for all that we have. We're responsible to steward, to manage everything that comes our way, and that would include, among other things, our finances. And I talked to you about a budget, and I want to just insert something into what we talked about when it comes to budgeting. So I want to talk to you about the importance of giving to God. And when I say to God, it's not like we give something and put it in His hand. We give to the work of God, the things that are being done in the name of God on earth while we're here. So when it comes to that, I want to encourage you to make a decision, to be intentional, okay, to decide ahead of time what you're going to set aside for the kingdom of God, and put that in your budget on the top line. Do that first. You say, Joe, why do I have to do that? Most people at the end of a month, if they have a budget, or if they don't have a budget at the end of the month, they look at how much they have left and they give based on that. And that's fine. You're giving to God, but you're not honoring God with the first of what He gives to you. So when it comes to finances, it talks about honoring God with our first. And I have just learned this. You and I cannot outgive God. He doesn't need our money. He gives us the opportunity to share in the things that He's doing. And as God stewards and sends finances in our direction, I have always loved to give to God first. So I set the amount. Now, the tithe, which is really tenth. Okay, tithe means tenth. So that is an Old Testament practice that I carry over into the New Testament, and I like to use that as a place to start. So if you're not giving at all, it's going to probably be difficult for you to go from 0 to 10%, but you can get yourself moving in that direction. But for me, I honor God with the tithe, so 10% of my income goes right to the Lord, and then I live on 90%. However, there's something else I want you to start doing, and I'll be talking a little bit more about the difference between income and wealth. But if you would like to someday have wealth, and as you get older, you should be accumulating wealth at all times, and then as you get older, you will have accumulated wealth that will allow you to enjoy the things that God has directed towards you. But I want you to get into the habit of doing that starting now. So perhaps you set aside money that you would give to the kingdom of God, your church and other ministries. And then second, I want you to learn to pay yourself. So how do you pay yourself? You put money aside towards wealth. Wealth has to do with what's in the future. So you're putting it aside, whether it would be an emergency account, an emergency fund, which you need to have, a savings, and then you're investing money. So perhaps that may be just a good generic kind of a plan, is that as you are stewarded, as finances come your way, you're going to manage, you're going to steward those things. And perhaps at first you would put aside 10%, and that would be for the kingdom of God. That would be to go towards, because ministry, by the way, costs money. If you go to a church, it costs a lot of money to have a church going. Ministries that you have involve money. So you're going to put aside money and you're going to direct that towards the work of God, things that people are doing in the name of God on earth. Okay, that would be maybe 10%. And then you're going to take another 10% and you're going to put it aside. And we'll talk more about this, but it's going to be designated. You're not going to spend it. It's going to be towards the future, towards what we would call wealth, the accumulation of things that are going to help you to perhaps not have to always work. Maybe you get to a point where you can actually retire, or you can invest and you can actually live off of the wealth that you've accumulated. Now, if you spend everything, you'll not be rich towards God. You won't be given to the kingdom. You won't be rich towards yourself. You'll be paycheck to paycheck. That's what most people do. However, if you can develop the discipline of being intentional and giving to God first, and then paying yourself, putting money aside, you're not going to use it. You're going to save it, and you're going to begin to direct it towards maybe buying your first house, buying, we'll talk more about this. A house is, you're not really spending money, you're investing money. It's creating wealth for you and other things like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to live on 80% of what you make. Now, I believe if you do that, that you will be doing a much better job managing, stewarding your money, and you're also going to find that your money is going to accumulate because you're putting money aside, and watch God bless your finances when you honor him with the first of all that he directs your way. I hope this is helpful. You might want to listen to it twice. Get it in your head. Begin. You don't have to go from spending everything you have now, you're going to live on 80%. You're not going to be able to do that. But slowly but surely, allow the things I'm sharing with you to sink in. Make your choice. Be intentional. If you're a steward, a manager, you're going to be intentional with what you do with your money and begin to intentionally do things that will create wealth in heaven for you someday and wealth here on earth. God bless you. I hope this is helpful.